3 in the field, and this one escape. It is on the step, on the la step, on the out. No more in a field. No more borders. Like La Pampa, like somewhere without borders. So, and speaking about colors, movement, so David is always coming. We speak before, he see the improvisations, he write, we do, and it's always like this.
Because it made a big effect on me, like since the piece was so covered with music, there was such a big effect when the stop comes and just the breathing. Yeah. So like how it was like I wanted to hear if you had like if that was the concept of the music score.
Work with concepts.
Okay, if that was the
but it
composition.
Was the it's Benedetto Pacifico. So it was the how you pacify, get calm, and you beginning again. This was the idea. So it's not easy to do, but you're right, I think.
So if you don't work with a concept, do you work with emotions, with images, with what's?
With images, with words, with and also a lot of the material. I put the people in universe, and they answer, and I answer, and it's a real dialogue. And all the people of the team do the same. Like the light designer, who I say before is really a collaborator, is not just a light designer, and the musician also. So we speak together and we answer dialogue, always.
Yes.
I want I want to ask about the technique of moving that you have used. Is it something that you studied as a whole, or you developed it for your body from some things? This is more.
Yeah. So we work on the material of Ricardo. So he moves like this, and the challenge was how, and it was also Guillermo saw the video, and he says it's a challenge for me. So in the beginning it will be orthopedic, like step by step, and without organicity. And little by little, he put life inside. It was a big work for him. It was really, what I say before, I learned a lot on you, how you did it.
But you learned from the tape?
Yes.
This is impressive. Really.
But I really didn't learn it. I interpreted what I thought. No, because Ricardo is an excellent mover. I
really
would
different.
never had his quality, so I
You've
tried
got your
to
own.
do something.
You have your own.
Yes.
After crying a couple of days, and I said, no, go and do your best, yeah.
So they move really different, and they have really different techniques, really different. So he really tried to, and after he have also his maturity, his technique, and he little by little he appropriated the material, and it became him, his material.
Definitely.
Because of
Great. Thank
it
you.
looks so perfect. It looks like you're not something that you put on yourself, but it's yourself. So do you teach this as a technique, or what is your technique?
I would not say that I have a certain technique. I always thought that technique is just a tool to express or to communicate. And I have to say that now it's like the 18th performance. So I think that little by little I'm able to forget about the steps or the reference of Ricardo and try to create my own speech. But I would not relate it to a technique. I think that this is more what Ricardo could say, because I think that he swaps all the time from qualities of movement that probably he has developed on his body or related to a technique. But what I've done is, with my knowledge, try to do something with that, really. But I could not say, my background is very much from Feldenkrais, Katsugen and things like this. But for this, I think that is quite, as Karin says, is quite challenged, because every 2 minutes is changing qualities. So you have to either and do whatever, try to communicate something like that.
It's because for the creation we had more than 20 hours of improvisation. So I took really sometimes 10 seconds from one improv of 2 hours. So is this give the differences or the not logical way, but it became another logic.
How long did it take to make the first,
The piece?
Yeah, the first piece. How long do you work on it?
Around 2 months. 1 month, 1.5. But it took 1 month and a half to take back. So it's a new creation.
So, when you work together, when you dialogue with your team, is it then also that nobody has an idea yet where you're moving towards? Is that being like sometimes when you work with a team, you say, okay, we're gonna work towards that, and we don't know yet how, but everybody's working in that direction. Do you also work like that, or is it more you react to each other and that becomes what the piece is, or
So
then the piece reveals itself, so to say?
we have the idea, we write it on paper, and also we discover with the people we are working. They give things we never expect, so we move with, and we have an idea, but the result it's full of straight couche of strat. Layers, yeah, different levels, and I think is rich also for that, because and also we surprise each other, because when we had finished the piece, Guillaume Fromentin was looking always, and suddenly he says, "I have the dream he will have a projector on the top," and we say, "But he moves all the time. How you can do that?" So and he surprised all the team, and it's, I think, a big part of the piece. So it's always like this. We are a team who always perturbation the others, but to go to somewhere.
So you started with the idea of the scarecrow?
Scarecrows, because we have 3 others.
Okay.
They are really different. Each one is really different.
Okay. Yeah. Did you end up somewhere else? I'm just curious.
With the others?
No, how it is for you on the inside, that you started with the idea, like how does a scarecrow moves? Did you
I don't
end
know.
up with, I don't know, a sea and an ocean, or?
But when you have the idea of a scarecrow is someone or something who always never stop to born, I have not a fixed idea of that.
No, but I think maybe he would like to add some of the task or the
No,
creation.
No, it's more. I'm just curious about your inner experience as creating the piece.
I work really together with people, and if I say something, I say, and why not that? So I learn always, and sometimes I go.
I'm curious if anybody at the audience have the idea of the scarecrow looking at the piece.
No, but it's not important.
Yeah, I know that. I know that perfectly well.
It's really precise for us.
You know, a subconscious communication or something.
I think it's about freedom, about how the.
He wanted to say something.
I just had a question. Is the entire piece fixed?
Yes.
Or is there any open pieces in it?
It's human life.
Sure.
But it's really fixed. But he can. But it's right. It's really, everything is right.
The last few minutes for us.
Guillaume didn't came. I think he helped for the other show.
Well, somehow it's the biggest fear of a dancer or performer, that the light will fall on him. And you really took this image for me very far. But it also became biblical, and a lot of
And also the title is a little bit Benedetto Pacifico, It's Benedito Pacifico, but it came from a long story because it's the long name of Benedetto Pacifico Tuco Ramirez, from the bad, the good, and if you know, the Western. Because I did before a Western, and because the scarecrow went to the Pampa, I decided to Benedetto Pacifico will stay and will be a new scarecrow.
And what is a scarecrow?
Scarecrow is these things you put on the field.
So
For the birds. Nobody see them anymore. But nobody see them anymore. The idea came because just the child see on the field, oh, scarecrow. But nobody, so it was about, we can speak about a fakir, about a cross, about indication panel who says go to Budapest. I don't know, it can be a lot of different things. But it was just, for me, it was precise, but to be open to each mind, because a scarecrow in here is not the same in Vietnam. They have a lot. It's a lot of related to the wind. So it depends of the cultures also. So, but you speak about human freedom also. Yeah, back.
I have a question to the artist. Did you learn something particularly important from working with this particular piece?
Yes. When Karin offered me the job, I had just finished a process of 1 year and a half doing a solo on my own, and creating and performing alone in the studio. So to have, first of all, to have a couple of eyes out, it was like, wow, there's someone watching me. And I have the opportunity really to embody Ricardo's movement, which was itself a task after doing and searching a lot of time what was genuine and what was essential on my movement. It was like, now you can just copy. And this was good. And then to all the tasks that I was trying to direct to myself, coming from another voice and in relationship with Karin's point of view, it was really relieving. So at the end, it was a very good circle to complete then my own solo as well. I think that it was like the final process to really embody and do with my own work what I was looking for. So I had to first, like be just not flesh and soul for other creator. And it was very, first of all, relieving, but then when you hear the things that you want to hear in another voice normally, because I think that we have a lot of things in common of what we like in dance or what interests us, then you hear it in someone else and it comes like this, no? You know that there is something in dance, this teacher that is with you for 2 or 3 years has the worst part, because then one teacher came for a couple of days and says the same thing that the teacher has been saying, and it's like, wow, do you know what he told me? But I was telling you all this all the day. So Karin was the guest teacher, and this is the same effect.
I'm sorry, but I think that we have to finish the conversation for
It's a
the
new
next
performance.
performance. Yes. So thank you very much.
Thank you to everybody.